Hey there, Constance. And I wanted to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I know that you and I have quite a lot of professional and now personal history. We met years ago in the mid 2000s, actually when you were working at a large health institution in the Fort Worth area, and I actually was serving you as one of your technical vendors. And so, one of the things that I really want to impress on a lot of the folks that I work with and whom you're going to be talking with as you kind of share your story a little bit is it's so important when you are networking and you are connecting as a job seeker. Always go back to folks that have been somewhere in your lineage, in your history. Even if you're not really sure where the dots might lead you or where those connections, go back, find out, hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your world? I see that you have spent the last 8 years at a particular organization and in a job. I think it's very important to understand that connecting and staying connected and networking could potentially lead you into a situation in which you were not expecting. So again, networking is such an important part of the job search, and it also is an important part, even if you are currently working, to always continue to build your network and to stay connected with those that are in your network. So, Constance Jackson. Again, we have a long history, but as a senior project manager, she has recently, through working with me, landed a phenomenal new position in which she is going to be starting on this next Monday. And so, with that, I'm just gonna Constance kind of speak a little bit about her time with me, where she was when she realized, oh goodness. Lori isn't doing what we used to do together anymore. And let me reach out to her and figure out if maybe she can provide some additional guidance as I am in a career transition myself. So, with that, Constance, I'll let you go.
Well, thank you, Lori. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the opportunity to interview me today. I feel like this session is very important for those who are out there, job seeking, and they feel like they're stuck. And so, like Lori said, we have a personal connection together. And what makes this coaching relationship with Lori even more special is that, like Lori said, she and I have a professional history together. Back in 2015, 2016, when I was working at JPS, Lori brought Televox to our organization, and we collaborated on implementing it for our call center operations. Even then, I could see her dedication to helping an organization and people, succeed. She's all about us succeeding. So when I found myself needing career guidance years later, when I got laid off my job, reaching out to Lori just felt real natural to me. I already knew her integrity, her problem solving approach, and her genuine care for people's success. So, having that foundation to trust her and her trust from our previous work made the coaching process, even more impactful. She already knew my work style. She knew my capabilities, which allowed us to dive deeper into strategy rather than spending time. Well, actually, we spent a lot of time on getting acquainted. But we were able to dive into that. So this added that personal dimension to our relationship, and it just demonstrates our long-lasting commitment and her long-lasting commitment to helping others succeed. And while also showing that people who've worked with her professionally and choose to work with her again in this different capacity can feel comfortable and know that they'll be successful. So I'd like to say, what prompts me, to even seek out, career coaching, and how did I find Lori? So when I got laid off in June of 2024, and following the years of being with my company for almost 9 years, I felt completely unprepared for today's job market. And I knew I needed expert guidance, to navigate this new modern job search strategy and the way that the market is today. And I needed it to rebuild my confidence. So when I found Lori on LinkedIn and saw an article of hers that job seeking is similar to relationship dating, it captured my eye because I was like, that is so true. And then I realized the name said Lori Lawrence. And I said, Lori Lawrence, I know her. I reached out to her immediately, saw that she had next chapter courage coaching and then the community. And then I immediately sought after her, connected with her, scheduled a consultation. And that's when we began our work. And her personal story of overcoming similar challenges of what I was going through really, really resonated with me immediately. And so that's what actually prompted me to seek out Lori.
I so appreciate that, Constance, so very much. And I've enjoyed working with you, through this journey. And it's interesting, you spent almost 13 months kind of searching on your own, doing the typical what we knew at one time, which was appropriate. You'd get a resume together. You would somewhat tailor it in some capacity to that particular position. You would hand that resume over to a recruiter or hiring manager, go through a couple of interviews, and 9 times out of 10, you get hired. But in
Yes.
this very, very competitive field, I know that you came to me and you were kind of like, what is going on? Why am I not getting seen? Why am I going through interviews and then not going into that final round? What is happening?
Right.
And so two things, you and I did some tweaking, number one, to your resources, which is your branding, so that we very clearly defined who you were, the story that you bring, and then defined what you were looking for so that you weren't, even though you were able to do many different things, you were very honed in on this is my passion. This is the direction that I want to go. Even though I've done this and been in this leadership, I
Mm.
really want to, this point in my career, serve others in this capacity. And so with that, I know that we came together, we worked together with some one-on-one sessions, and then you joined our next chapter career community. Talk to me a little bit how important it is to be a part of a community in which other job seekers share time together on Zoom a couple of times a week, and what has that meant to you?
Oh, yeah, sure. So first, I'd like to say, I was dealing with a lot of challenges and frustrations when I was out here doing my job search. And so I was struggling with outdated approaches. My resume needed a complete overhaul. I wasn't leveraging LinkedIn effectively and I lacked confidence in interviews. So when I started my sessions with Lori, I told her that I feel invisible to recruiters. I wasn't sure how to showcase my experience in a way that really resonates with employers in today's market. And so she did. She helped me actually create an amazing LinkedIn profile. She looked at it. I had about 5 resumes that I was working on, and Lori helped me put together an executive resume, which was outstanding. And I could actually pull from that resume for whatever specific job I was then seeking and looking at. And she helped me to build that. Lori also did job analysis for me. When I would seek out a job, I would send it to her and ask her to show me the comparison and if this is a job I should actually, go after and pursue. I would not even pursue that job until I got that job analysis from Lori. That's just how much I trust her and her program. And so when I worked with her on that and my LinkedIn, that's when jobs just and recruiters I started getting more attention and they started reaching out to me more. Then Lord introduced me to the community. Oh my goodness, there's so much I could say about this community. The community is everything to me. You actually get to work and talk with people who are going through the same things with you. Some may have been going through this for a few months, some may have been going through it over a year or so. But what it does is actually brings that emotional connection with one another. It brings that confidence, that encouragement. We all support one another. We also connect with one another on LinkedIn. We also will help each other in whatever job fields that we have. We will send each other those particular jobs that they may qualify for in their field. So that's the nature of this community. And combining all of that with Lori's expertise and it's honest conversation. It's no sugarcoating. Everybody is authentic. They bring their serious challenges, their fears, their letdowns. We've all gotten to that point where we went through an interview and we felt like this is the one, and then we were told, we're sorry, we're going in another direction. The community comes together. That's where the community comes in. They will lift you up, lift your spirits, give you that hope and confidence to keep pushing forward. And so when you join not only the coaching and the teaching with Lori, you also must join the community, because that is where your work, the real work begins with Lori, but it continues on with this community, and you'll learn things about yourself that you did not even know was there.
So Constance, finally, I want to talk about this last opportunity that you went through a very rigorous 7 rounds, or at least you spoke to, I don't know if it was 7 rounds, but I know you spoke to 7 different individuals
Mm.
that led you to a very successful offer. Talk to me about how this particular position, because I will say that you had gone down this road a couple of other times and gotten to the end doing all of the things correctly, but then you got that unfortunate letter about we've moved on with another candidate. So
Yes.
what about this particular role and time do you feel really put you over as, the number one candidate, in which then you received an offer and you start on Monday?
Yes. So thank you, Lori. So first of all, I'm really excited and thrilled about this senior project manager position at Children's. Going back to a former organization that I previously worked at for almost 15 years ago. And, I'm really excited about being able to go back and contribute to this organization and their meaningful mission and improving these children's lives. And like Lori said, I met with 7 individuals, all at executive levels. And what I took into these interviews that had to stand out differently from the previous interviews is the authenticity, the confidence. I had to take all the lessons I had learned from Lori, those being lead the interviews. Do not sit back and be passive and wait for questions to be asked for you. You take control of the interviews. Not only that, you show them what your return on investment is going to be for that organization, which is what I did in these interviews. I also brought a project portfolio that showed my previous work at this organization, along with another similar organization that showed that I am the right fit and the person for this project and for this opportunity. So, by me bringing that project portfolio and showing my work, it actually wowed everyone that I was interviewing with. And it also showed them who I am. It gave them an insight to who I am. It made it easier for me to then build that connection with each one of them, because you have to build that connection. You have to build that relationship, because they have to see if you're going to be a fit for their organization and their team. And then you also want to make sure that they're a fit for you and that you want to join their team and the organization. And so I took all of that advice that Lori had given me. When I would have an interview, my thank you notes were not notes, they were thank you letters. It would outline a summary of who I am. It would show my top qualifications. But then the most important part is I would list what are the key takeaways that I took away from that interview. If you told me you had an issue or a problem with building relationships, I expressed and showed and gave an example of how I am able to help you build those relationships. So I placed myself on their team. I talked to them as if I am on your team. And that is what I think made the difference. Being authentic, connecting with them, showing them examples of my work, letting them know what the return on investment, and then leading those interviews and making it your own, making them want to hear more and more from you, and then placing yourself on that team and that organization is exactly what I feel like put me over the edge. And if I could just give a little advice that I would like to give to some of you who are out there, you feel like you're stuck, you feel like you're invisible, you're discouraged right now in this job search. Don't do this alone. This community will help you invest in this proper guidance. And Lori's coaching and this community will help you get there. Stay active on LinkedIn, as she'll tell you. Create the materials that showcase your value, and remember that your experience does matter. Most importantly, maintain a positive attitude and mindset. Trust the process because the right opportunity is out there and right around the corner for you.
I love it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear all of the wonderful things that you will be creating and helping children's, go through over the next few years as they become a very, very premier hospital system within the Dallas area. Constance, thank you again so much for everything, and I know we'll stay in touch.
We will definitely stay in touch. I want to say one more thing, Lori.
Yes,
I will absolutely recommend this coaching experience. Lori doesn't just provide job search tactics, she provides hope, she provides practical tools, and that genuine support through what we can be so that we can be very, very confident in these very, very challenging times. Her coaching gave me both the strategy and the confidence I needed to land not just any job, but the right job for what? For my next chapter. Thank you, Lori. I love you.
thank you. That's awesome. Thanks.
You are